Hey, aloha and welcome. Uncle Richie, live from the middle of the Pacific Ocean, just past high noon. This is Thursday, September 28th. This is uh this is my gambling day for the NFL. I don't do it. I don't do college gambling. Maybe talk a little bit about Damian Lillard trade. Anybody just came on? Oh, there you go. Every once in a while, somebody pokes up on there and then they're gone. Nobody likes to chat. That's okay. This is practice, people. I'm talking about practice, not the game. Not the game. We're talking about practice. What are we talking about? Talking about practice, man. Talking about practice. I have that whole speech verbatim written down that I will do for you one day. Welcome in the Spirit of Sports YouTube channel at Notpods, notpods.com. Coming soon when I can find the time. It's going to be a lot of work, but that's what I want to do. It's a lot of work on this. We're going to talk my picks today, me versus Cowherd and Nick Wright. And I'm bringing on the Favorites podcast with, what's his name? Simon and I believe Chad. We're going to start following them, look at their first 3 weeks. Also doing JFK versus Uncle Richie versus Emalani, where I have my little 6-year-old daughter pick who she likes, and we flip a coin and have me and see how flipping a coin and a 6-year-old girl do against Uncle Richie. So, hi to Tillamook. How you doing, Mookers? Love you guys. I'll be there a week from today, getting on a plane with the kid, Oregon for 10 days, and then head on down to SoFi Stadium and Disneyland on a surprise trip to LA. Shh. The kid doesn't know about. So Tuesday, Disneyland, the 17th. Monday Night Football, the 16th. I'm going to go live and talk to some fans. Maybe change it up a little bit now that I can go live on the phone. Was game changer right there. I haven't done it yet. I'm still in studio in my house. But soon enough, becoming live, I think I will do it. I think I'll do it every day. So I think I'll do it every day. I'm looking at myself now. I'm on. Studio's not looking too bad. Studio's looking okay. I should chat to myself and say that I'm someone else, just to get a little action. Anyway, my picks today. We'll talk some Survivor pool. I do want to lead off with the 3-team trade, Damian Lillard. I don't want to get into, Drew Holiday came over. He's going to get traded, it sounds like. DeAndre Ayton, maybe we can make him work. Blazers, he had 10 years. This guy was the most loyal class act. People say Clyde's the best Blazer. That guy looked at the ball when he dribbled and didn't do crap in the playoffs. That guy was not clutch at all. Dame, he had a team too. Clyde, they had the best record in the league. Couldn't get it done. Dame, they had 10 drafts and 10 off seasons worth of free agency and couldn't get him one other guy. Don't tell me McCollum, because they're the same guy. You need a guy that's a wing or a big that can defend and is long, not 2 shooting guards that are 6'2", and one's a point guard. He never had a second guy. He was loyal to a fault, and I say good riddance on your behalf. As a Blazer fan, I'm sad. As a converted Bucks fan for the next couple years, I'm elated. And you deserve it. Go get your ring, Dame. We'll keep DeAndre Ayton, see what happens. Got the rookie. Scoot. I don't know what's going on. I haven't cared about the Blazers or the Raiders for that part. Dodgers, what it is. Beavers basketball, terrible. Beaver football, same old crap. It's kind of a miserable life being Uncle Richie when your teams all suck. So that's why I do this show. That's why I love the NFL, not just one team. Fantasy football, watching, rooting for your guys. Let's get into it. This is week 3. Week 4, holy cow, it's flying by. Week 4 of the NFL. I mean, it was 11-5 last week. Let's look at last week. JFK, where I flipped the coin. 7-9 last week. That was straight up. I went 13-3 straight up and 13-3 against the spread. Why am I not in Vegas? I'm 11-5, 10-4-2, and 13-3 in the first 3 seasons against the spread. So if you're listening to me, over under not so good, 5-11 and 11-5. I didn't do week 1. So if you're listening to Uncle Richie and you're in Vegas these last few weeks, you should be doing pretty good. I do my weekly 4-pack. We'll get into that. As also, I haven't heard yet. Cowherd, I think he did his Blazing 5 this week. Nick Wright does his Nick Wright 3. I don't know what to call it. 3-pack. I'm a 4-pack. Nick Wright Trio. The 4-pack of Uncle Richie and Colin's Blazing 5. And I'm bringing on the Favorites, which is a podcast with, I believe, Simon and Chad, I believe, or Craig. I only listened, I didn't really get the names. But yeah, I'm going to follow them too. We'll get into all that. So last week, JFK, 7-9 straight up. That's flipping a coin at $50 with JFK on there. JFK versus the spread, 6-9-1. Emalani, I just do straight up 11-5. As I said, I was 13-3. Straight up and against the spread. That's killing it. Nick Wright last week, 3-0. He goes to 4-4-1 after an 0-3 week 1. I've gone 2-2, 3-0-1, and 2-2. These are against the spreads in my 4-packs. I'm 7-4-1. And Colin Cowherd's Blazing 5. He was 0-5, 0-4-1, and then 3-1-1. So he's 3-10-2 overall. Now I brought these guys on, the Favorites. They do 4 to 5 games a week versus the spread, and then they have a 6-pack of money line underdogs that you can do parlays. Week 1, they were 1-4 on their 5 favorites. Then 2-2 week 2 and week 3. So they are 5-8 overall on their favorite picks of the week. 3-2, 4-1, and 1-4 on underdog parlays, the money line style. So that's not bad. 8-7. So I'm bringing those guys on. So it's me versus Uncle Richie versus Cowherd's Blazing 5 versus Nick Wright's Trio and versus the Favorites. You can catch them on where you get podcasts. Guys are pretty good, but we will see. Let's get into this week. Nuts and bolts. See how Fantasy Live Crew does later this week too. Get into the nuts and bolts. Week 4. Uncle Richie. Check out the notes, people. This is what I put it in for you guys. Haven't done this week's a whole lot, but if you remember last week, Fantasy Live Crew got backseat quarterback, got weekly updates, offensive line, defensive rankings, And that's what I do. Labor of love, and hopefully putting out some good content, good information for you people, and to the point right now you can take it to the bank through week 3. I'm no pro. I don't claim to be a pro, but I do study. I do look at what's big, and I am doing pretty good this year. Let's get into it. Week 4, this is gambling side of things. On Saturday, I will ramp up the NFL, and I will look at matchups, intriguing matchups, whatnot. This is straight gamble. Detroit at Green Bay. It started out Green Bay. This line flipped. I believe Sunday, Monday, it was Green Bay -1. Now it's Green Bay 1.5 when I got it. So I do my picks on Wednesday. That's the odds I stick with. If you get DraftKings, we can't gamble in Hawaii, the state of Hawaii, but we can have DraftKings, and we can just go to the book and see the lines. So that's pretty cool. So I base a lot of my stuff on that. Oh my goodness, it's up to 2.5. What? So they're going heavy on Detroit. It started out, that's a 3.5 point flip. I think we got it in at 1.5. I got it at 1.5. Wow, what's going on? I guess I don't know if it's the public or the sharps or what, but in 4 days, this line has flipped 3.5 points. So I took Detroit -1.5, and I'm glad I got them when I did. Somebody knows something. It's up to 2.5. Jacksonville, across the pond, 3:30 a.m. Hawaiian time. Did I mention I'm out here in the middle of the Pacific Ocean? It is just past noon Hawaiian time. Uncle Richie, the Spirit of Sports, at Notpods, YouTube. Jacksonville, across the pond, 3:30 a.m. That's 9:30 for you on the East Coast. So East Coast now knows how the West Coast feels, and West Coast gets a taste of how we feel out here in Hawaii. So we're up at 3:30. I get up at 5:15, watch the second half, then prep. 3:30, yeah, because then you're done. Not getting up at 3:30. Not staying up all night. Jacksonville -3. Still, I like the Jags. Falcons might have been a little bit exposed. Ritter, I don't think he's the guy. They don't use their weapons enough. I don't understand. Arthur Smith doesn't like fantasy football, so what? I'll cost my job, and I'll cost us games because I don't like fantasy football. Who's paying your bills, bro? It's not, casual fan doesn't make up most of the population now, or the fan that's hardcore on one team. We're watching every game only because of fantasy football. I never gave a crap before 1992. Unless I was gambling, and I didn't even do much of that. I just like watching the games, and I would watch my Raiders. I would never watch Jacksonville, Atlanta, in London. Didn't give a crap. Fantasy football drives your market. Better recognize Arthur Smith, dumbass. And for that purpose, I'm taking Jacksonville -3. Next up on the docket, Miami. And Simon guys on the favorites. They're putting a lot, and it sounds like the sharps are on Buffalo big. It's at 2.5. It's been at 2.5. I don't know. Perfect night, a perfect day in Buffalo, Orchard Park. Not going to be any weather. I think I'm taking the 2.5 on the road. Road dog, 2.5, just scored 70. I don't see a letdown with this offense. I see an aging defensive backfield in Buffalo. Maybe it's a sucker bet, but I think the sucker part of it, well, I guess that you're getting 2.5. I'd like to see, I haven't done where all the money is yet. I'd like to see that. I should probably look at that before I make my bets. But I'm sticking with it. Simon said he has a nice car, maybe even a house bet on this, on Buffalo. I'm going Miami, baby. 2.5. Denver -3 at Chicago. Two worst teams in football by far. Not even close. I think they're still locked in the panic room. And I don't know if they're getting out to even play this game. Still at 3 points. I'm taking Denver. I wouldn't touch this with somebody else's the kind. Take Denver -3. What are my locks? I'll give you my 4-pack first. New England +7, Arizona +14, Miami +2.5, and Seattle pick'em. That's my 4-pack of the week. I will talk about that at the end. Cleveland was right up there, -2.5. See where they're at still. Cleveland, Baltimore at Cleveland. Where's Baltimore at Cleveland? No dead air, Richie. Come on. There we go. Oh, it's down to 2. Was 2.5. So money must be coming in on Baltimore. I got Cleveland -2.5 at home. That defense. Baltimore, I think come November, Baltimore's going to be a lot better. Still finding their way in this new offense. Cleveland. Bucky Brooks turned me on Cleveland back in August. I'm buying them. So I got Cleveland -2.5. Taking road favorite. I'm going against a home dog, Cincy. Wait a minute. Oh, that's next week. Yeah, I got Cincinnati. Should be 2.5. On the road. I think they got to figure it out. They didn't look great. Probably should have lost Monday night. Did not look great. But Tennessee, I just, after seeing last week, don't know. Don't know if I can trust Tennessee. They should be 0-3, really. That's what. Lose to New Orleans, that Charger game. Chargers doing Charger stuff. And blown by Cleveland. I know they say that, what is it, home dogs, they got blown out or scored 3 points or fewer in their home dogs the next week. It's like 70%, but gambling, I'm not sure those numbers really add up when you look at past years and past teams. I think it's a fluid, week to week, day to day thing. Like road dogs are supposed to be, or home dogs are supposed to be a good bet a lot of the time. They're 3-12 this year or something. So I can't really look at past years and what teams that scored 3 points did the next week, or what home dogs by double digits have done in the past. I don't think it matters as much as what some of these sharps are putting into it. So I'm going to go Cincy -2.5 at Tennessee. Raiders came in -1. Now it's gone to, back to -1. I got them at +1. So that's a flip-flop, double flip-flop, looks like. So Indy was +1. Now the Rams are -1, and I got them at +1. So I will stick with that for sure. Rams +1 at the Colts. Again, Monday night, a lot of weird close call stuff happened to the Rams. They really should have handled or won that game handily, I believe, against Cincy. At Cincy, I don't know how they really overturned Tutu's touchdown. I would have had 40 more points in fantasy if guys weren't down at the 1-yard line in my big $400 league. But that's a whole nother story. I like the Rams. I think the Rams take them. Tampa Bay +3 at New Orleans. It's gone to 3.5. I got them at 3. Not sure about that now. You know what? It's never too late. I can change. Alert, alert. Pick change. Oh, I'm confused on which quarterback. Nope. Wah, 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 wah. Raz always said stick with your pick. Stick. Tampa Bay. Not sure the quarterback situation in New Orleans. 3 points. Division contest. Okay, we're going to stick with Tampa. +3. They're 3.5 now. I got them at 3. Philly -8 to blow out Washington. Enough said. Washington's getting blown out. Washington was definitely exposed last week at home against Buffalo. Buffalo proved themselves be better than I think anyone thought they were. Big test this week. That's the game of the week, Miami at Buffalo. So I'm sticking with Philly -8. Minnesota -3.5 at Carolina. I think that went up. Maybe 4.5 or 5. 4.5. I got them at 3.5. I'm taking Minnesota. They can't be this bad. After 11-0 in the regular season in one score games now, they've lost their last 4. They got an offense. Cousins leads the league, I believe, in passing. And I think Carolina is not very good. I think it's almost better for the Minnesota Vikings if Bryce Young comes back. Sam Darnold throwing the ball all over the place. So I'm going to stick with Minnesota. Pittsburgh, Houston. Houston +3. Let's double check that. It's gone down to 2.5. I like Houston. I got 3. I like Pittsburgh a lot, but I mean, D'Amico Ryans has something going there. I think they'll be able to throw the ball on Pittsburgh, run. Maybe get Damian Harris going. Pittsburgh has like 30th ranked run defense in the league. So stick with that. Houston, home dogs, 3 points. Take it. Chargers, 6-point favorites at home against the Raiders. It's down to 5.5. I got them at 6. I'm going Chargers. You know what? Time to put all your stuff in one bag. Figure it out. Play a good game. Don't play down to your opponent. How about that? Just play a good game. I mean, oh my Lord. It's been so many crap years playing down to opponents and dumbass mistakes. Just play one good. The Raiders are not good. Let me tell you right now. They were my 4-star pick for under whatever 6.5 wins. They're not good, people. Please, please. Let me check something. I guess I have it. Not good. Chargers, blow them the hell out. How about that? Don't even make it close. We got next. New England +7. I got them. That might be down 6.5. I got them at +7 at Dallas. Belichick. Time to show your dominance. Are you a great coach? Sure you were for 20 years when you had a quarterback. The verdict's way out if you're a great coach when you don't have Tom Brady. And if you're even a good coach. So it's time. Because you know you're going up against a guy that's going to make mistakes, that might not have his team ready, might not have the comeback from like 2 crappy performances in a row is not out of line for these Cowboys. So go in there, give them a game. Arizona, 14 points they're getting on the road at San Fran. 14 points. Are you kidding me? That's a freaking lot of points. I'm taking Zona. I mean, they've looked really good. They've had a lead in every single game. They were supposed to be the laughingstock. It's still at 14. I like Arizona going in. San Fran, not the greatest home field advantage. Arizona, get that running game going with Connor. Con Air. No, it's not Con Air. It's Con Ground. Josh Dobbs dodging darts. That was a good one. Anybody saw that? When Micah Parsons, I got a new quarterback on the dartboard. And it's Josh Dobbs. We're coming at you. Then he does a little. There's a lot of good stuff. See, that's the kind of stuff that will be on the website when I have time and figure that out. Anybody want to come run a website? Move on out. Got a spare room. Can pay you minimal. Can pay you rent. KC minus 9.5. Did that go up? 9 went down. I got KC going into the Jets and just pound them. I think the Jets D is reeling because of the lack of confidence in their offense. Yeah. Take the KC, give the points. Seattle. I got them at plus 1.5 on Wednesday. Now they're -1. So jumped on that early. That's when it's nice to jump on them early. -1 now, so definitely keep that. I think they go in and handle business. I think Seattle's sneaky good team. Whatever happened with the Rams week 1. But what are they sitting at? 1-2. Oh, Seattle 2-1, yeah. Just had that weird glitch. The Rams pounded them pretty good in week 1, but they're scoring some points. 37 points the last 2 games. Giants, with or without Saquon, I don't see it. So that's my picks. Detroit, Jacksonville, Miami, Denver, Cleveland, Cincy, LA Rams, Tampa Bay, stick with it. Philly, Minnesota, Houston, LA Chargers, New England, Arizona, KC, and Seattle. That's with the spreads, wherever you're at, what book you use. The spreads vary. What I got on Wednesday, that's my picks for this week. Straight up. My only difference straight up is I'm taking Dallas over Chargers or over New England. I'm taking San Fran over Arizona. And I guess I took the Giants over Seattle. No changing. I can change that. That's Monday night. So actually, you know what? I'm taking Seattle here because that's on my pool. Then we have the CBS Sports where you can change your pick Monday. You don't know what everybody else is doing, but you know what everybody else has already done. It's kind of cool. So yeah, all my straight ups are the same, except for I'm taking Dallas over New England and San Fran over Arizona. My 4-pack, New England +7 at Dallas, Arizona +14 at San Fran, Miami +2.5 at Buffalo, and Seattle, I got them at Pick'em at the Giants. So all road dogs is my 4-pack of the week. We'll talk Collins Blazing 5 and Nick Wright's trio and the favorites. Actually, favorites, I have their picks. They go Vegas at +6. They went the Jets, trying to get to 10, but they took them at 9.5. They like Buffalo, -2.5, pushing for 3. And their lock of the week is Tennessee. And that was Tennessee against Cincy, +2.5. There you have Thursday's Vegas day. That's my picks. Sticking with it. Tomorrow, what do we got tomorrow? Miscellaneous, fantasy football. We'll talk some fantasy live crew, what I think, their predictions. Talk some NCAA football a little bit Major League Baseball. Beavers play tomorrow. Maybe I'll call some of that game. Talk some Major League Baseball playoffs on the horizon. I'll be talking a lot more Major League Baseball. Probably longer shows as we get into October. Because baseball is, I love the playoffs. Can't stand regular season, just like hockey. Love the playoffs. Won't talk a whole lot of hockey on here. NBA, Don't know the last time I watched a full NBA regular season or Major League Baseball regular season games, but watch plenty in the playoffs. And that brings us to our last little bit here before we sign off. I'm at the half-hour mark. That's the goal. Half hour plus every single day. Uncle Richie, the spirit of sports. We're talking sports. We're talking life at my studio, my spare room down here, middle of the Pacific Ocean, Hawaii. Little survivor talk. Survivor's all topsy-turvy. I have a league where it started with $250, $100, $25,000, and it's under 100 in 3 weeks. Topsy-turvy. There's no bad teams. The teams we thought were bad. You know what? Indy's not bad. Houston's not bad. Tampa Bay maybe is not bad. Those are the guys that I was looking at and just, whoever they play every week. Houston, Tampa, Zona. You can't go with that. We had to throw that theory right out the window. Who is bad? Is Minnesota bad? Are the Chargers bad? Are the Rams bad? Is New England bad? I say the Raiders and the Jets are bad. But it's a crazy year, bro. You knew it was going to be. All the movement, new coaches, new everything. So we got to talk Survivor this week. Preseason, when I was looking at week 4, I like Jacksonville against Atlanta, across the pond. I like New Orleans was my pick, at home for Tampa. Can't really use that. Pittsburgh at Houston. Can't really use that. Chargers home for Las Vegas. Still in the realm. San Fran Zona. I still have KC. Detroit, Carolina, week 5. I'm looking ahead. I still have KC, San Fran. Let me check. Double checking here, people. Let's see. Philly, San Fran for Survivor this week. I like KC too. I have them. Who do you save? I'm going to look into this. I got to do a little research before I put it in. I got an hour and a half to put my pick in. I got to look at the future. But I'm doing one of those 3. I think just win this week and deal with it. It's week 5. Looks like there's a couple decent picks on the teams that you're not going to use later. So I'm just going to tell you, Survivor's a coin toss. Might as well go JFK on it. Topsy-turvy world. Usually by now, the crappy teams and the teams you thought were going to be crappy are crappy. And the 3 worst teams that we thought were going to be crappy are not that crappy. Vegas might be crappy. Jets might be crappy. Giants might be crappy. Oh, of course, they're playing each other. Denver and Chicago are crappy. Other than that, I don't know. Minnesota could win 5 in a row. Or they trade Cousins. We shall see. Good luck out there. If you want to take this to Vegas, the first 3 weeks has been really good to you. I could crap the bed any week, but I'm putting in the effort. I go with my gut and what I see and what the pros say, what the public says. Use a little bit of everything. That's going to do it for this week. The Spirit of Sports, Uncle Richie. Every single day at high noon or 2 p.m. I'll let you know when it's not high noon. I should be tweeting. I'm not tweeting yet. I'm not TikToking yet. And that's okay. It's a slow process. But I will Facebook and I will Instagram when I'm going on later. So if you don't hear it, if you don't see it on Facebook or Instagram, I will be here at high noon-ish every single day, bringing you a good half hour. The Spirit of Sports. We're talking sports. We're talking life. We'll talk a lot more life during basketball season, the doldrums, I call it, February, March. I'll get it way more into college hoops this year. and the NBA. That's one good thing about Notpods. My fandom has really waned lately. So that will be back in full effect. And as I always say, never gonna not say it. I love you guys. I love myself. Working on it. Go out there, be better. Love yourself, people first. Love yourself first, and you can love others. Forgive. People all have their trips. We're all in this world together. So until we meet again, Uncle Richie signing off. Hui ho.